Fellas, ladies, let's get into it. So, I had a chat with my mate Ziggy earlier today. Well, it was actually a couple of days ago. But anyway, Ziggy's just come out of a relationship. 15 years. Yeah, he's been in it for 15 years. The bloke's basically time travel from 2008 into this kind of whatever the hell this is now, some kind of dystopian hellscape. And we call it dating. And he has stepped out of a world where you just met someone at a pub, chatted to them. I mean, it wasn't even a pub, was it? You know, you could even like, do you remember when you could just approach people in not in the street, but like in a shop and be like, hey, you know, what are you doing? And you talk to them, you know, maybe you went for a curry and we've somehow landed in this kind of bizarre universe that it involves these kind of dating apps, emojis, and secret Instagram codes and breadcrumbing. And anyway, Ziggy's sitting there. He's crushed. He's like a shadow of himself. And we'd had a couple of beers, a cigar, you know, the old catch up vibes. And he goes, mate, I tried texting this chick the other day and just said, hey, you fancy grabbing a drink? And he got blocked. Blocked. I mean blocked. Like straight away. And like now look, I just full disclosure here, I'm a married man, yeah, 20 years. And so I'm no expert in this modern game. Just, you know, but even I know that it's not how you do it anymore. You can't just come out swinging like it's 2008, you know. Anyone remember 1999? Never mind 2008. The rules have changed and it's a mystery how to play it. Anyway, asking someone to go out for a drink now, what? Too forward, too honest, I told him. I told the fellow, I said, look, mate, you can't be straightforward. You can't just come out and say what you want. That's a fool's move, Ziggy, I said. So I told him, fella, you've got to get to breadcrumbing her. You've got to breadcrumb her. And he looks at me completely baffled, like completely baffled. Like I just tried to explain quantum physics to a dog, you know, bit of algebra thrown in there for good luck. And I say, Ziggy, breadcrumbing, mate. It's where you give him just enough attention to keep him interested, but not enough to form a deep connection. It's like sprinkling crumbs to lead someone on without giving them the full sandwich. You know, you don't want them to take a bite and gobble it up because then it's gone. And Ziggy's sitting there, he's horrified. He's proper horrified. You can just see it in his eyes. He's like, what the fuck? Luckily, we're about 6-7 beers deep at this point. So, you know, he probably doesn't remember the previous 2 minutes. And he goes, why the hell would anyone do that? And I'm like, fella, that's what dating is now. It's not about meeting someone. It's about creating a vibe. You're not a person anymore, mate. You're a brand. You are the brand. Now, here's the thing. Modern dating, it's marketing. Your profile isn't just a picture of you. It is a literal ad campaign. It needs to scream, buy now, pay later. You've got to have the hiking photo to show that you're adventurous, the kind of dog photo to show that you're a wholesome, trustworthy person, and maybe one where you're at a charity run to show you care. I mean, it's kind of like you've got to have this kind of brand awareness. I mean, if you really, really wanted to, you know, show quite how awesome you are, then make sure you're doing some kind of like helping with disadvantaged people or something like that with a big smile. And you know, that's gonna get you some brownie points, or, you know, jump onto one of the latest kind of crazes, one of these new religions, you know, maybe show yourself stood next to a wind farm, or, you know, I don't know, cleaning solar panels anyway. Meanwhile, Ziggy's idea of dating is a profile picture of him slumped on the couch with a beer. Didn't even look like a cold beer, a beer. An ashtray half filled with cigarettes and looking like he's just got out of bed. And, dragged his ass out, went on the horses, lost a bet. I told him, mate, you can't show them the real you. Not yet. This isn't about the truth. This is about aspirational, as you are selling a dream. The real you comes later once they're already hooked, once they're suckered in. And it's not just the profiles. No. There's rules for texting. I mean, again, Ziggy's just like, and anyway, there's rules for texting. And you can't text back immediately because that looks desperate. But if you wait too long, you're not interested. It's like playing a psychological minesweeper. Is it 4 hours? 2 hours? And what if it's a weekend? Because if you text on a weekend, apparently you're too available. And then one wrong move, boom, blocked, game over. Now, while I'm coaching Ziggy through this madness, my daughter comes out. She's 18. She's probably asking for the car keys or some cash. You know how it is. And she hears me talking about breadcrumbing and just rolls her eyes and says, Dad, you're being cringe. Cringe, I ask. Am I cringing? Is that a verb, a noun? What does it even mean? And she sighs and like I've just asked her to explain the meaning of life. And anyway, she says, you're giving main character energy right now. I'm genuinely completely lost at this point. I'm just like, I'm like, am I supposed to apologize for that? What's the opposite of main character energy? Supporting cast? Am I supposed to fade into the background like some kind of extra? Her generation, man, they've created this whole new language for relationships. They've got the soft launching, a situationship where you post a photo of someone's hand or the back of the hand on Instagram and announce you're kind of seeing someone, but not really. I mean, to be honest, though, back in the day, we didn't even have photos. I remember once, I remember when we were young fellas, and one of my mates was basically he'd had a girlfriend, and someone's like, "You got a picture?" And like he had this crappy little picture, one of those Polaroid cameras that picture goes me, the printout comes and all that, and he shows this picture, and immediately everyone was just like gay, and that back then, like the word obviously doesn't have the same, it's just one of those words, but it was kind of like, whereas now we seem to just post this private life online, and anyway, so it's kind of like you're announcing this. So this kind of soft launch is this kind of announcement of you're kind of seeing someone apparently, but not really. It's like they're testing out a new menu at McDonald's or something like that, and it's like situationship, the situationship, and I'll be honest, I've no fucking idea what I'm talking about here. And that's the problem. Everything is coded. Nobody says what they mean anymore. You've got to keep talking stages, situationships, and emotional unavailability, which, by the way, is just a fancy term for I don't like you enough to make an effort, and people accept it. Oh, he's just emotionally unavailable. No, Sharon. He's just not that into you, mate. If someone likes you, they're going to text back no matter what. You know what it's like. Do you remember waiting for that text and sending that message on the old the Nokias with the snake, and so-called good old days. I mean, we did have some good fun, but even, I mean, they're going to text back even if their dog's on fire, if they're really into you. You know how it is. You know that feeling. Anyway, here's the kicker. So Ziggy asked me, so what's the secret to modern relationships? And I'm like, mate, you got to manage expectations, have some open communication. I know, yeah. Become a full-time mind reader. You've got to know what tone to use in a text. Is it casual, flirty, professional? And one wrong meme, and you're done. Even long-term relationships these days, they aren't safe. Like the other day, like my wife, she doesn't normally do this, but she's like, you didn't like my Instagram post. And I was like, well, I kind of live with you. So does that not count as a like? Well, I learned the hard way. Apparently not. But here's the thing. At the heart of it all, whether it's breadcrumbing, soft launching, or main character energy, it's all fucking nonsense. Everyone's just trying to connect, but we've built so many layers of crap around it that nobody knows how just to say it. I like you, and let's just see where this goes. And that's the one thing Ziggy's got right. He's honest. Maybe that's why he's struggling. And that's a sad, sad thing in this modern world, because honesty doesn't come with a filter or a soft launch. So my advice to Ziggy is forget the apps, forget the rules, be real. Sure, you'll scare off a few people. You really will. But at least you won't be wasting your time trying to decode somebody's Instagram story. And those ones you scare off, they weren't your people anyway. They were not your people. They were not for you. There are authentic, genuine, beautiful people out there. And we've all been kind of divided into these lines because we think social media is real, but it's not. And as for me daughter, I'm just going to keep being cringe. And if embarrassing her by existing is the worst thing I do, then I can live with that. Who needs main character energy when I'm happy being a background character in this kind of this life that we live and we play, and there's no real code. There is only now. There is only this, and we put all these things in place, but I'll never fully understand it. I really won't. Thanks a lot for listening to this, and if you're out there in the dating game, look, I wish you all the best with it, because I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I hope that my wife, she sticks with me. I'm going to keep doing what I do. And let's just say that whoever is out there, whoever's listening to this, keep it real, keep it honest, be yourself. Fuck everything else. Thank you.